Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Glorious Pakistan. I'm your host Shehzad Qayyum. Folks, in Lahore, I'm standing right now at a very famous mosque which is called Masjid Wazir Khan. This mosque was actually built back in 1634 in Emperor Shah Jahan's reign at that time, and it was built by the Ilmuddin Ansari, who's commonly known as Nawab Wazir Khan. The mosque is beautiful. It has been built with the small bricks, and the conservation work is also underway, and also it's not too far from the Delhi gate. So let's take a look with you guys that what do we have inside.
Lahore is loud, colorful and full of character. But when you enter the walled city, it hits you differently. It's not just the sounds or the buildings, it's the feeling, like the city's whispering stories from hundreds of years ago. We'll be exploring that very heartbeat of Lahore. We walked through Gali Surjan Singh, where wooden balconies leaned out like they were watching us pass. We stood still in the echoing halls of centuries-old Shahi Hammam. We hopped onto a Rangila rickshaw, painted like a moving canvas, weaving through chaos and calm. And of course, no trip here is complete without food, hot chane, crispy pature, and the kind of street-side flavors that linger long after the last bite. But before all that, we found ourselves in a place that sets the tone for the entire old city, a place that feels like a painting come to life. Our journey began at Masjid Wazir Khan. We had finally made it to one of the most beautiful and peaceful places in Lahore, Masjid Wazir Khan, right in the heart of the old city, surrounded by the narrow winding streets of the walled city. This mosque quietly stood like a painting frozen in time. The moment we stepped inside, it felt like we'd been transported back into the Mughal era. There was something about the silence, the smell of old bricks, and the colorful frescoes that made the entire experience feel almost dreamlike.
So right now I'm inside the Masjid Wazir Khan, and this yard is huge. The hall is pretty big as well, and we were told here that 20,000 people can offer prayers here, and the prayers have been offered here from centuries now, and such a wonderful and huge mosque here.
Built during the reign of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan and named after his governor, Wazir Khan, who supervised its construction. And honestly, the man had an eye for beauty. The mosque wasn't just a religious site, it was an artwork in itself. From the very first glance, the tile work took our breath away. Every inch of the walls, arches were covered with patterns. Blue, green, mustard and deep red, all so intricately painted like someone had poured their soul into every stroke. We stood quietly in the courtyard, just soaking in the symmetry. 4 towering minarets stood at each corner. Watching over the open space, pigeons flew above. What really pulled us in was the feeling of timelessness. Like nothing had changed here for hundreds of years, and yet everything still felt alive. Inside the prayer hall, the artwork became even more detailed. We noticed Persian calligraphy along the walls and verses of the Holy Quran beautifully framed around the mihrab. There was this peaceful hush inside, even though we weren't alone. A few people sat in corners, reading or praying, and nobody said much, because really, what could you say? The place spoke for itself.
So viewers, we have this small market here. Actually, this market was built back in the days when the mosque was built to cater the needs of the locals here. Now, obviously, the shops have been gone, but they are been restored here. Both of my left-hand side and the right-hand sides, they both have those little rooms which were basically the shops back in the days.
Outside the mosque, the entire Wazir Khan Chowk had been restored, and that added another layer to the experience. The restored Havelis, the old-style wooden balconies, and the street vendors selling various items made the whole scene feel like a movie set. We chatted with a few locals who told us that this mosque wasn't just a tourist attraction, it was part of their everyday life. Friday prayers, even quiet evening walks, all centered around this space. Looking back, visiting Masjid Wazir Khan wasn't just about admiring an old building. It was about reconnecting with Lahore's soul. We came out with a quite kind of joy in our hearts, the kind that only comes when you stumble upon something real, something that belongs to all of us. And even though we walked away, a part of us stayed behind in those tiles, in that echo of Ahsan, and in the colors that refuse to fade with time. Located in the heart of Walled City of Lahore, near the historic Wazir Khan Mosque lies a hidden architectural marvel, the Well of Dinanath. This centuries-old stepwell is not just a water source of the past, but a symbol of Mughal-era urban planning and the philanthropic spirit of Ranjit Singh's court. The well was commissioned by Rai Bahadur Dinanath, a prominent Hindu statesman and finance minister in Maharaja Ranjit Singh's court, who was known for his administrative acumen and contributions to Lahore's development. This well, also called a Bauli, was once a lifeline for the local community. Designed to provide easy access to groundwater in a time before modern plumbing, with its carved stone steps leading downward, it reflects the unique blend of Mughal and Sikh architecture. From the calm of Masjid Wazir Khan, we wandered deeper into the maze of the walled city, and that's when we entered Gali Surjan Singh. At first glance, it looked like just another narrow alley, but the more we walked, the more it started to speak to us. There was something poetic about this street. The quiet charm, the weathered bricks, the wooden balconies hanging over us like silent storytellers.
So here we are, guys. This is called Surjan Singh Street, which is not too far from the Delhi Gate, and it has been conservated, beautifully conservated. I can see on the both sides. It is one of the, I think, best things I came across with here, and it has shops on both sides. They have been actually restored, so I highly recommend you guys to come over here and go through this street and see what do we have here.
The gully or the street was named after Surjan Singh, a prominent figure from the Sikh era, and it still carries traces of that old world elegance. Some of the buildings looked fragile, like they were being held together by memory. But that's the thing, even in their fading state, they had presence. We noticed tiny doors with faded blue paint, iron grills and floral patterns.
So folks, once again, we're still in the Surjan Singh Street, and this is one of the sitting areas here, which is now, they have turned it into a restaurant now. Basically, there were places where people used to hang around, and it used to be called bataks. Now they have actually turned them into the restaurant here. But there was one thing which you can see right behind me, the bricks and the architectural style is still the same, the roof is still the same, and they have restored it quite well. There are some switchboards here which are quite old. They are big ones, round ones, and also there are people, they come here, they enjoy the food, and obviously they enjoy the surrounding areas as well.
Not far from Masjid Wazir Khan, tucked away in the heart of the walled city, we arrived at one of the oldest symbols of communal culture and Mughal sophistication, the Shahi Hammam. From the outside, it looked modest, even a bit mysterious. But as soon as we stepped through its arched doorway, we knew we were entering something far more special. The air inside was cooler and quieter.
So right now I'm at the Shahi Hammam, which is not too far from the Delhi Gate. This hammam was also built in 1634, and obviously back then people used to use it. It was based on 21 rooms at that time. There is very interesting thing here. If you see this floor, on my left hand side, this is actually the level of the Lahore city. So it's very interesting here now. We have only 9 rooms left in there, and there is another aspect here that Akbari Mandi is surrounding this whole hammam area as well.
Built in 1635 by Wazir Khan during Emperor Shah Jahan's reign, the Shahi Hammam was not just a public bathhouse. It was center of social life, healing and relaxation. Back in its time, it welcomed merchants, nobles, travelers and local alike. And what a place it must have been. As we moved through the structure, we passed through a series of domed chambers and warm bath, and the steam rooms, each one carefully designed to maintain temperature and airflow without a single machine or wire. The Mughals knew their craft, and they knew how to treat the human body and soul with dignity. The real magic lay in the details. Some walls still carried hand-painted frescoes, faded but alive, depicting floral patterns, stars, and hints of human figures from Persian influence. We looked up to see delicate motifs on the ceilings and watched how natural light was guided into the rooms through cleverly designed vents. It wasn't just about bathing. It was wellness with a sense of wonder. You could almost hear the gentle splashes of water, the laughter of conversations, and the soft footsteps echoing through steam as if time had not really passed.
So in the Shahi Hammam, this right here is the main octagonal pool. This is where everybody used to take bath, and there are also rooms attached to this particular pool. They are pretty much around the pool here. Those were the changing rooms, and people used to actually take bath here and then socialize here as well.
Restoration teams, especially in recent years, have done a remarkable job in preserving this treasure. What could have disappeared into dust and memory now stands firm again, open for everyone to witness. Interactive board, subtle lighting, and a well-curated path helped us truly understand the lifestyle of those times. This wasn't just about hygiene. This was a part of the culture, a space where people bonded, shared stories, even discussed politics, surrounded by warmth and fragrance. As we stepped back into the light, the walled city seemed a little louder, a little faster, but we carried something calm with us. Visiting Shahi Hammam didn't just take us into a building, it pulled us into the mood of lost Lahore, one that celebrated rest, ritual, and the beauty of slowing down. After soaking in the history and the hush of the Shahi Hammam, it was time to switch gears, quite literally. And what better way to dive into the color and chaos of the walled city than by hopping onto a Rangila rickshaw as soon as we spotted it bursting with colors, hand-painted peacocks, flowers, Urdu poetry, and truck art style quotes. We could not help but smile. This wasn't just transport, but this was an art on wheels. The driver welcomed us with a big grin and an even louder horn. As soon as we sat down, the rickshaw cuffed into the life and rolled forward with its signature shake and rattle. We weren't just moving through the streets, we were part of them now. Narrow alleys zipped past us, shopkeepers waved, kids ran alongside for a few seconds laughing and trying to keep up, and everywhere we looked, there was color, motion and life. The Rangila rickshaw wasn't fast, but that was the charm. It gave us time to notice everything, the aroma of freshly fried samosas wafting from a corner stall, and an old man mending shoes under a tree, a little girl peeking through a balcony window. Every second felt like a postcard. The driver, in true Lahori style, cracked a few jokes, pointed out some old Havelis, and even played a classic song from his tiny radio. Suddenly, we weren't just guests here, we felt like we belonged. What stood out most was how this small, three-wheeled ride brought everything together. The history, the hustle, the humor. It was like the spirit of Lahore had been squeezed into one moving, shaking, colorful box. Each brushstroke on its body told the story, from verses of Punjabi folk poetry to tiny portraits of film heroes. This rickshaw was Lahore's unfiltered soul on full display. As we rode through, it was impossible not to feel joy. Maybe it was the chaos, maybe it was the colors. By the time we hopped off, we weren't the same. A little dizzy, a lot amused, and totally in love with the madness that is Lahore. All thanks to humble yet heroic Rangila rickshaw. After the colors and chaos of Rangila rickshaw, our stomachs had started sending signals loud and clear. And in Lahore, when hunger hits, you don't go looking for fancy menus. You follow the aroma. So we did exactly that. We followed the scent of fried goodness and spices, and it led us straight to a small food corner where magic was happening in giant steel pots and sizzling kadahis.
So guys, here we are still in the inner city, also known as Androon Lahore, and this is very famous dish here. It's called Bhature, made up of pulse and the flour, and they are served with the chickpeas, also known as chanas. So let's see how they taste.
There, bubbling in hot oil, were golden bhature, crispy, crunchy and calling out to us. The vendor, wearing smile as wide as his frying pan, handed us the fresh batch. One bite in and it was game over. Soft on the inside, crunchy on the outside. It was a kind of a meal that doesn't just fill your stomach, it lifts your mood. Right beside him, a huge deg of chane was quietly stealing the show. Slow-cooked chickpeas simmered in spices with bits of green chili, lemon juice and fresh coriander on top. We watched him serve in small bowls, steam rising and hands moving fast as more and more people stopped by for their evening fix. It wasn't just food, it was a tradition shared daily by locals, office workers, students and travelers alike. In that moment, standing on the street, tea in our hand, we weren't just visitors. We were part of Lahore's rhythm, its flavors, its warmth, its unapologetic love for food. All of it wrapped us in like an old friend giving you a hug after a long day. This wasn't just about taste, it was about connection. Because in Lahore, food is not just eaten, it's felt, it's shared, and once you have had street food here, nothing else ever really compares.